On a day when both Nifty and Sensex dived, SugarStocks surged. The catalyst? News that the government may hike ethanol prices for 2024-25 season. Now you might be wondering, what's the connection between ethanol and sugar? We'll get there, but first, let's dive into the ethanol industry. So what exactly is ethanol? Ethanol or ethyl alcohol is a chemical compound produced through the fermentation of agricultural products like sugarcane and corn. It's widely used as a high-octane fuel in vehicles thanks to its favorable properties like lower evaporative emissions and reduced flammability compared to a gasoline. Now, why is ethanol making headlines now? The government is considering a proposal to hike ethanol prices for 2024-25 season while also pushing for the diversification of feedstocks. This is part of their plan to achieve a 20% ethanol blending target by 25-26. Ethanol blending is nothing but mixing motor fuel with ethyl alcohol that is at least 99% pure, sourced from agricultural products and combined exclusively with petrol. Ethanol blended petrol offers two key benefits. It is an environmentally friendly biofuel and it helped India reduce its crude oil import cost. Now the price revision is a priority to incentivize production and meet these ambitious blending goals. Ethanol has been used as a fuel since the early 20th century, but it wasn't until early 2000s that the Indian government recognized its potential as a renewable fuel. Since then, ethanol production and consumption have been on the rise. The sector is expanding, driven by the growing demand for cleaner energy sources and the government's push towards renewable and green energy. Ethanol is seen as the next superfuel because it can significantly reduce the nation's oil imports while protecting the environment. Now, the demand for ethanol is fueled by its growing use as a biofuel in the automotive industry, increasing beverage production, and the rising awareness of its use in hand sanitizers and disinfectants worldwide. Ethanol offers major benefits like improved fuel economy, increased thermal efficiency, and better cold starts in winter. The US and Brazil are leading the world in use of ethanol as a biofuel. Now, back to the main question. What's the relationship between ethanol and sugar? To answer that, we need to understand how ethanol is made. India is one of the largest producers of sugarcane globally, and sugarcane is a primary source of ethanol in the country. Molasses, a byproduct of the sugar refining process, is another common feedstock for ethanol production. In some cases, grains like maize and biomass sources like agricultural residues are also used. Hence, the significance of sugar extends far beyond its culinary uses. It's an essential source for energy, fueling much more than just our sweet tooth. India is one of the largest consumers of sugar in the world, with domestic demand expected to continue rising due to factors like population growth and increasing per capita consumption. This provides a strong market for the sugar industry and significant long-term growth potential. Now let's break down how an ethanol price hike could benefit the sugar industry. Recently, sugar stocks have been doing well, driven by the growing demand for ethanol from Indian oil companies aiming to hit the 20% blending target in transport fuel by 2025. Many sugar companies are now relying heavily on ethanol production for a large portion of their earnings. Take Balrampur Chini Mills, for instance, domestic sugar manufacturer that earned 26% of its income from the bioenergy segment in financial year 24 as compared to only 11% in fiscal year 20. Now let's talk about the sugar stocks impacted by this potential move by the government. Following the report, shares of companies like Bajaj Hindustan Sugar, Balrampur Chini Mills, Dalmia Bharat, Awadh Sugar, Mawana Sugars, Sri Renuka Sugar, Triveni Engineering and Dhampur Sugar surged by up to 6%. With adequate sugar stocks in India, the resumption of the ethanol blending program is expected, further boosting these stocks. Now, before diving into ethanol investments, here are some key points to keep in mind. First is government policies. Changes in regulations can impact the industry. Keep an eye on government decisions. Monsoon dependency. Sugarcane cultivation relies heavily on water, making it vulnerable to monsoon variations. This could affect the performance of sugar companies. Third is main business impact. While ethanol production can boost earnings, global factors and export policies can impact core sugar business, influencing stock prices. Fourth is inflationary trends. Ethanol tends to perform well in inflationary periods. Understanding economic conditions is crucial when considering ethanol stocks. However, I would like to emphasize once again that the government has not yet officially announced whether they will be hiking ethanol prices. As of now, this is just information reported by various sources to the media. Having said that, this is Aditi Priya signing off.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.